What is the spray all about that happened at the attempted assassination of ex-President Trump? I will explain, and I will illustrate the bullet trajectories, which are quite peculiar. I'm trying a new format for time-sensitive topics, so I've invited my son Luke and view the 3D model together and explain what we see. This is the 3D model. The base is from Google Maps, so that's pretty accurate. And then there's stuff that's specific for the day, and that's been very carefully aligned from this picture. So there's the photo, and there's the inlay. So these items here are all been placed as accurately as we can, and particularly these bleachers and this hydraulic lift here, which you'll see why it's so important as we go. So I'm pretty confident about the position of everything, and that's super important because when you look at the trajectories, that's where it becomes crucial that it's lined up, and that's what the value of this model is. If we come over here, we can see that this is the place where the crowd was calling the cops, and they were looking at this angle. And then there's a tacit photograph or video of the guy bear crawling up here, and then another shot of him. And then you can actually see his hair and his glasses in the image. There is a ladder over here, and he's reported to have bought ammo and a ladder on the morning of the event. He told his work that he wanted a day's leave on the Saturday, and he would go and work on a Sunday. And he was blocked by the security at the magnetometers and then went away, and presumably came around here, climbed up on the ladder, and then
So it wasn't the first place he tried to get in?
No, we wonder what he was trying to do to get into the crowd. So it just shows that he was just planning on the fly.
Not very well planned.
Yeah. And the position of where he is as accurately placed as I could, according to the photographs afterwards. Paste that in. And then apparently there was a cop who climbed up on the roof, and I presume he would have come from the side because this is where the crowd were drawing his attention. He climbed up over here, popped his head over, and then he was threatened by the guy. And then he dropped down and apparently hurt his ankles.
And how long was that before he shot?
So at least 2 or 3 minutes before, there were people running around here. And if you time
a lot of time.
If you time what the soundtrack of what the speech of what Trump was saying, there's at least 2 minutes. But there are other people who said it was for longer than that. And what's more is they say that this building over here was the place where all the security were staffed. They were occupying this building for the event. And on the roof is where the guy climbs in. And you would hear a guy on the roof, surely, because this is quite a light roof. The thing is, there were snipers posted on the roof there and posted on the roof here. So they were dual position.
All of them were pointing towards.
They were absolutely that. If you check that angle there, they were clearly trained on this guy. These snipers over here were probably looking through. If that's him over there, these guys were looking through the edge of the tree. But this guy here.
Yeah, that's a very clear shot.
This guy's got a completely open shot, no problem at all. And it just blows your mind that they weren't.
So they knew he was there. They knew there was a man with a gun on the roof, but they didn't even tell Trump to leave the stage or shoot.
And plus, the people over here were shouting. He's got a gun. He's on the roof. So anyway, it boggles the mind. If we then have a look at the shots, this is very interesting because the first line was obviously aimed at the ex-president, and if we line it up through his ear, then what's interesting is that that's the line that just misses his ear. But if you carry on, you see that's the line that hits the piston of the hydraulic lift, which lines up perfectly with the thing gushing out all its oil, and this thing dropping really fast.
Yeah. So that,
And you can actually see all the oil. You can see all the oil lying over here afterwards. Massive oil stain. I presume that's the first shot. And what seems to make more sense is, why is he such a bad shot that he actually, that's the first shot. And then the next shots are all to the left. And what seems to make sense to me is the first shot went off and he was immediately shot. So perhaps he was half dead. And then as he was still pulling in the trigger, the gun swung to the left. Then the next, the one guy, the fatality, was over here on this bleacher. Then the next guy who got shot, and you can see him in this image. And then there was a third person shot. So whether he's over here or in this bleacher, I really have got no idea. I've got no information. So could be over there. I really don't know. Those are the three shots. Pretty interesting that it would have been. And anybody who's good shooting, well, they will be all
they
very.
would have all been right
They would
there
have all
if
been
they
right
were
on
all
top of each other.
intentional.
Yeah, exactly.
The
So
other
anyway,
two, or however many there were after that one, were clearly
yeah,
so either in a reaction to being hit or just because his finger was still on the trigger.
right.
I wonder if they'll give more information about like the sequence, or
Yeah, I'm sure
you
this
think they
will
will?
come. No, of course, this will be investigated to death.
But then will they share that?
Investigated to the end of time. Yeah, no, they will share some of it, and people are looking for answers.
I must say, when I first saw it, I thought it's quite strange that they just let him stay up there with his head up again and with his fist in the air after just being shot.
Well, I think Trump is such a powerful character that you don't tell him what to do.
I think that could be. That's not surprising. That's his
Yeah.
first reaction. As
That is an unbelievable sense. He's just a natural at actually
taking
maximizing
advantage
the
of
moment.
Yeah.
And creating the iconic photographs. I mean, geez, those photographs are going to go down in history.
Like you can understand something slipping through once every 40 years or so, but the fact that they didn't take him off the stage when they clearly knew there was at least a man with a gun pointing at Trump, and they didn't take him off. It makes no sense.
Incompetence of the highest level.
That's probably the number one thing that gives a conspiracy theory fuel, because that is strange.
Yeah, just doesn't add up. Anyway, but that'll come out.
I wonder how many times they've had something like this before, where there was someone with a gun at one of these rallies or something, and we just don't know about it.
Exactly.
It could happen regularly, and we just don't know. And
I don't see any conspiracy here whatsoever. Just
I don't think it is. I think it just is what it is.